One of the first gyms that I ever trained out of, and luckily for me, it was a predominantly strongman and powerlifting gym. Hardly any bodybuilders inside, if any. So lifting a lot of weights came naturally to me because that's all I used to see. When I see guys squatting heavy, deadlifting heavy, benching heavy, that's what I picked up on. And then soon, the 260 deadlift wasn't a thing because everybody was doing it. Squatting 220 wasn't a thing. Everybody was doing it. You see where I'm going with this? So that was my lifting environment. When you're looking around and you're seeing these things, you're no longer awed by these things. You're no longer in awe. You're just more like, well, I need to get to that level. And I got to that level very quick. And the reason why I say that is one day I went to the gym. This is a strongman gym. And they were doing this grip challenge. And it was like not a grip challenge, they were grip training. It was like this cylinder block. If you've ever seen the grip train. Looks very similar to that. And you have to pinch it like this and you lift it. And there's a weight underneath it. I don't know what it's called. It's called something. But anyway, I'm in the gym training, minding my own business. I see the guys over there lifting it up. And I thought, let me go and have a go at this. Lifted it. They were all amazed. They're like, you don't do any grip training? And I was like, no. Tried it again. Put more weight on. Now there's 3 guys left. I have like 10 of us. Some big lads. Big guys as well. Lifted it. Anyway, next guy, there's 2 of us now, me and one of the biggest guys in the gym. Lifted it, we both ended up getting the same. So what happens is, there was no winner. It was a tie because both of us lifted. I can't remember what the weight was. I'm going to say it was roughly around 60 kilograms, something around the lines of that. And that was the pinch test with this thin kind of little grip. And I know they're all different depending on who makes it and all this kind of stuff. The point I'm trying to get at over here is I figured out my grip was really strong. It was really good. And how did I train my grip? I never trained my grip and thinking these guys are actively training their grip, or some of them was at least. How was I doing them? I don't have big hands. I don't have rough hands. I don't have particular, I'm not a builder. I'm not a grafter. I'm not out there on a building site. I'm not a plasterer. I don't do massage therapy. I don't use my hands for anything other than, you know what I mean? So, and I don't even do that, but I used to then. And there's another video for that as well. Anyway, the point I'm trying to say is the only thing that I did to get my grip strong back in those days, if I'm thinking about it, what I was doing at the time was I was training forearms almost every other day. And I'm going to share my forearm workout with you guys very soon. We are going to the gym very soon to do a lot of recording, and there's going to be a lot of footage in the gym, all training footage. We've got 170 different exercises to get through, so a lot of content is coming free of charge onto this channel. So what you need to do is you need to hit that. Is there a bell icon down here somewhere? Something like that. You need to hit that, press subscribe, follow me, and get the notifications on. So as those exercises are going to be uploaded on here, you'll be the first to see them, free of charge. So I was thinking, I never really did any direct grip work. I was training my forearms. Okay, yeah, I'll train them quite a lot. Every other day I was doing forearms. When I was in the gym training, I never wore gloves. Now, this was a time where gloves were quite popular. A lot of people are watching Ronnie Coleman training footages, and he was he always had the gloves. Even though he was a powerlifter, he just liked to wear gloves. And a lot of bodybuilders in the early 2000s were wearing gloves, especially in the gyms that I used to train at. I hated gloves. They just didn't fit right. They didn't seem right. My hands got sweaty. I didn't like the feel. I didn't like the smell. So I stayed away from gloves. When I was training back, very rarely, so this is now, I'm going to give you some advice now, guys. Sorry. Very rarely did I use any wrist straps. So the first 2 things that I would say for grip strength, and this is coming from a guy who does have very good grip, and I'm telling you what I'm going to do here. In fact, let me just tell you another story as well. Years later, when social media came around, there was a weightlifter called, I can't remember his name, Klokov. I'm going to say Klokov, something along the lines of that. And he had this thing where he was flipping plates. He flipped a 10 kilo bumper plate, 15 kilo bumper plate, 20 kilo bumper plate, 25 kilo bumper plate, and he caught it, pinch grip, catch it midair. And we were in the gym, and we had the fat bumper plates in this gym. And one of the strongest guys in the gym, he managed to flip this plate and just barely catch it. And it was one of those amazing moments where he almost caught it and he just let go of it at the bottom. I thought, let me have a go at that. And you know what I did? Flipped the plate, caught it right here. Didn't let it land. I flipped the plate and I caught it up here. This is where I caught the plate. flipped another plate with the left hand, caught it up here. I'm going to try and look for this video where I'm flipping both bumper plates and catching them. In fact, I tell you what I've got. What I might share, in fact, no, do you know what? I am going to share this because people might call me out on it. So I have to share this because this is quite an amazing feat of strength. I was in Thailand last year, hot as hell, no chalk on my hands. And I'm going to put a video down below right now. And you can see me flipping every single different plate in the gym, 20 kilo. Not 15 or 10 kilo, 20 kilo plate in the gym. I even did a 25 kilo plate in that gym at the time. I did a cast iron plate. I did a rubber plate. I did one of those thin plates. I did a thick plate. Every single 20 kilo gym, every single 20 kilo plate that was in that gym, I flipped it with no chalk in about 30 odd degree heat. It was humid as hell in there. My hands were sweaty. Just to show you guys how good my grip is. Now, this is not a brag. This is not a brag. Anyone can build grip strength, and I'm going to teach you how. Number one, ditch the gloves. Do not wear gloves. First things first, stay away from that. If you feel it's hot, especially in countries like Thailand and sometimes in the UK, it can get a little bit sweaty, use some chalk. On that occasion, though, that video you just watched, I had no chalk. So you can use chalk, chalk's fine, but don't try to use the liquid chalk. I don't like that because people overuse it and I think it messes up with your hands. And you can see my hands over here. If you can see that, I don't know if it's going to focus or not, but they're nothing special. They're not massive. They're not small. They're not riddled with calluses. I hardly have any calluses actually. I've never ripped a callus. I've never had my hands ripped ever. And you can see there's no rough calluses anywhere. I don't know why, that's just the way my hands are. Never had anything rip off my hands. Very strange if you look at it. They don't even look like a lifter's hand. But they're quite solid. And they're very strong. So, number one, no gloves. Number two, use some chalk. Number three, when training back, do not use straps. Now, I know people are going to say, yeah, but we want to get the most out of the workout. Trust me on this. You should be strong enough to hold any weight that you're doing in the gym, other than shrugs. That is it. If you're shrugging, then wear wrist straps. Is that what they're called? Yeah, wrist straps. If you're shrugging, only wear wraps for shrugging. If you're doing pull-ups, if you're doing rows, if you're doing dumbbell rows, machine rows, anything, I never wear any wrist straps, ever. You can later on in the workout, but as long as you do deadlifts first. If you're doing deadlifts raw, then later on, if your hands are really fatigued, you can maybe wear some sort of wraps. But try and stay away from them. That's one thing that I've done to keep my hands very strong. And this is another tip as well. This is probably the most important tip, which not many people have mentioned, not many people talk about, because it's something that you do by default almost. Most people in a gym, they will, when they're benching or when they're doing deadlifts or what else, when you're doing shoulder press, when you're doing squats, when you're doing leg press, trying to think when you're doing a back row machine, when you're doing a T-bar row, any time that you're placing a plate onto a bar, here's how you should do it. The majority of people do this. They will get the bar, they will get the plate off the rack like this. They will walk over to the bar and they will rack it. Not me. From a very early age, if you've ever seen me in any gym, the way I do it is this. One-handed. There's no reason for it. It's just always been there. And because of this one thing that I'm subconsciously doing, is that the right word? Yeah. I'm subconsciously doing this thing. I don't know why I developed the habit of doing this. I just did. It just came by default. I used to pinch the plates, hold it to the bar. If I'm doing incline bench press, I would pinch another plate. I would walk over, I'd waddle over to the incline. Now the incline bench press is up here. It's at chest height, okay? I would get the pinch the plate up, slide it on with my chest, push that one on. Now I've still got the other one in my hand. I'll walk over to the other side. This hand is free, but how do I put that plate on? I'll pinch it up. These are bumper plates I'm talking about. Some gyms that I'm training in, I'm using bumper plates, not even cast iron where there's like a little groove. Thick, thin, bumper plates, doesn't matter. I will always pinch the plates all my life. I've been training in gyms for 22 years. In a gym, like an actual pay my membership, go to a gym. I've been training in a gym for 22 years. And I've always, from a very young age, done this one thing. And I will pinch and I will use my chest Sometimes, because, you know, the bars get a little bit, like you can get it on, but then you need to push it on. So then I'll push it on, and then obviously I'll slide it with double hands. Leg press, bench press, T-bars. Every single time I train, it's a pinch. If I'm loading or I'm unloading one, I'm unloading two, and I'm walking to the rack, placing them back on the rack. That is the one thing that I would credit my grip strength through. So yeah, my grip strength is very good compared to most people. Some powerlifters, strongmen, you want to test my grip strength, guys, I'm happy to test it. And bear in mind, I do not train for grip. I haven't trained forearms in a long time. I don't train for grip, never have done. Just naturally got a strong grip, or I'm going to loosely use the word naturally. I'm going to say I kind of use my grip strength every single day in the gym, and I think you guys should do exactly the same. So hopefully this video gave you guys some value. Please comment down below stuff that you do for your grip, and like the video.